There are certain types of silver you should not buy, and today I am going to walk you through the 5 worst ones for investing, counting down from 5 to 1. Because here is the thing nobody tells the new stacker: all silver is not the same silver. Two piles can weigh exactly the same, hold exactly the same number of ounces, and one of them will hand you your money back easily on a hard day, while the other one traps you and bleeds you on the way out. Stay with me all the way to the end, because the number one worst type, the single most dangerous one to your wallet, is also the most fun to buy, the one that hooks good stackers by the hundreds, and I will get to it. And after I show you the 5 to avoid, I will tell you the 3 kinds of silver you actually should be stacking. My 3 pillars. For years the pitch has been just buy silver, any silver, it is all real metal. And that is half true and half a trap. Yes, it is all real, but you pay a premium over spot when you buy. And on some of this stuff that premium is enormous, and when you go to sell you eat that premium alive. The old stackers understood the difference by feel. They bought the plain, boring liquid metal and left the pretty stuff to the hobbyists. We have to learn it on purpose, usually after paying for the lesson once. I'm Hank, and I've stacked real silver and gold for 35 years. I've got nothing to sell you, and this is just what I've learned, not money advice, so do your own homework before you spend a dime. If you like knowing how this stuff really works, hit subscribe. It's free and it helps me keep making these. Let's get into it. Before I start the countdown, let me hand you the one idea that ties this whole list together, because if you understand this, you barely need the rest. Every kind of silver has 2 prices: the price you pay to buy it and the price you get when you sell it. And the space between those two is your real cost of owning it. On good stacking silver, that space is small, $1 or $2. On bad stacking silver, that space is a canyon, $20, $30, $40 an ounce, and you fall right into it the day you sell. So as I go through these 5, do not just listen for what they are, listen for the size of that canyon. That gap is the whole story, and it is the difference between silver that works for you and silver that works against you without your ever noticing. Number 5 on the list is numismatics, which is just a fancy word for collectible coins, peace dollars, Morgan dollars, Mercury dimes, the beautiful old classics that folks have loved for 100 years. And let me be clear, these are wonderful to collect. Filling a folder of Morgan dollars with your grandkids around the kitchen table is one of the real joys of this hobby, and I have done it myself and treasured every evening of it. But collecting and stacking are 2 different things, and you must never confuse them. The trouble with these as an investment is that they are not very liquid. They are hard to resell for anything close to what you think they are worth. To get a fair price, you often have to sell them one at a time online, dealing with shipping and fees and buyers who claim it never arrived or was not as described, and it turns into a real headache. So here is your action. Buy the old classics because you love them and because they connect you to history, not because you think they are an investment. If it is fun and heritage you are after, collect away with my blessing. If it is silver wealth you are building, look elsewhere for the bulk of it. Number 4 is jewelry. Now I am not a flashy man. I do not wear much of it, but I know plenty of folks who like to buy silver chains and rings and bracelets. Here is the problem, plain and simple. You pay a heavy premium over spot when you buy jewelry, because you are paying for the craftsmanship, the design, the brand, and the shop's markup, none of which is silver. And when you go to sell it, you get under spot, often way under. Take a silver necklace down to a coin shop and you will likely be offered around 60% of the metal value, maybe a little better on a good day. And you know what that shop does with it the moment you leave? It sends it straight to the refiner to be melted into a bar or a coin, something people actually want to buy. So you paid a fat premium for a thing that gets melted down for less than spot. That is a losing trade coming and going. Jewelry can be a lovely gift, and there is nothing wrong with owning a piece you love. Just keep it in the jewelry box, out of the stack, and never confuse it with an investment. Number 3 is poured silver, and I have to confess this one is my own weakness, so I say it with real affection. Poured silver is handmade, it is art, gorgeous hand-poured bars and pieces made by genuinely talented craftsmen, and the community around it is full of wonderful, generous people. But it carries a high premium, because all that handwork costs money and time, so you pay well over spot to buy it. And when you try to sell it, unless you happen to find another collector who wants that exact piece from that exact maker, A regular dealer will give you right around spot or plain melt value and turn around and sell it for a few dollars over. Meanwhile, you paid $20, $30, even $40 an ounce over spot for it. It can take years, waiting for the silver price itself to climb enough just to cover the premium you already paid, before you so much as break even. So collect it if it moves you and you want to support an artist, and I do exactly that. Just know in your heart it is a hobby purchase, not a stacking purchase, and size it accordingly. Number 2 is sterling silver. This stuff has almost never been a good buy for investment unless you stumble onto it dirt cheap. Sterling is 92.5% silver, with a bit of copper mixed in to make it harder and more durable, which is exactly why they made cups and utensils and serving trays and candlesticks out of it for generations. But when you go to sell sterling, you take a real beating, usually well under spot, because it is simply not desirable to the people doing the buying. Nobody is lining up for grandma's tea set at spot. Most places that take it will pay you well under, because they have to melt it and refine it, and there is cost and hassle in that. Now, if you ever find sterling for next to nothing at an estate sale or a thrift store, sure, there might be a little something there for the patient. But paying up for sterling as an investment is a mistake, plain and simple. There are far better things to put your money into, and I am about to give you the 3 best. Now, before I give you the number 1 worst, let me re-tease it, because this is the one that gets more good stackers than all the rest of the list put together. It is not the ugly stuff that traps you. It is the beautiful, exciting, addictive stuff. Here it is. Number 1, the worst type of silver to buy for investing is semi-numismatics. That is a coin or a round where the value is split, about half from the silver and about half from the fact that it is a fun collectible. The themed coins, the dragons, the superheroes, the movie characters, the flying saucers, the pretty colorized pieces, all the fun, gorgeous designs that make you want to own the whole set the moment you see the first one. And I understand the pull completely, because this has been my own biggest nemesis in 35 years of stacking. You see one, then you want another, and if you are not careful, you look up one day and half your stack is themed coins you paid dearly for. Here is the trap, and it is the exact same trap as everything else on this list, just wearing the prettiest clothes. You pay a big premium over spot when you buy these, $5, $10, $20 an ounce over, sometimes more. But when the day comes that you actually need to sell, and it always comes, a car repair, a medical bill, a hard month where the income does not stretch, you cannot move them fast, they are not liquid, you have to sell them one at a time online and hope the right collector wanders by. And when you cannot wait, when you need the money now, you carry them down to the coin shop, and that shop pays you plain spot, or under it, for a coin you paid a fat premium to own. All that extra money you spent to get the pretty design, gone in an instant, kept by the seller who sold it to you. So whatever you do, do not let your stack fill up with semi-numismatics thinking you are building wealth. Enjoy a few if you love them, the way I do. Just never once confuse them with stacking. And do not feel foolish for loving them, because I love them too. Just know exactly what they are, and exactly what they are not. Let me put real numbers on that trap so it lands the way it should. Say you have $1,000 to spend. You fall in love with the themed coins, and you buy $1,000 of semi-numismatics at, let us say, $15 an ounce over spot. Then a hard month comes and you have to sell in a hurry, so down to the shop you go and they pay you spot, just spot. In that one round trip, in and out, you handed over a big chunk of that $1,000 to premium and never got it back. Now run it the other way. You take that same $1,000 and buy plain generic rounds at $1 or $2 over spot. Hard month comes, you sell them back at spot, and you are out almost nothing. Same $1,000, same silver price, same bad month. One version costs you real money for a moment of pretty. The other version keeps you whole. That is the entire lesson of this video, in 2 grocery store receipts. And let me confess how I learned it, because I did not learn it from a book. I have a whole case of themed silver, dragons and movie coins in colorized pieces, gorgeous every one, and I paid dearly for the lot of them over the years. A while back, out of pure curiosity, I gathered up a stack of them and took them to my dealer just to see, and he offered me spot, flat, for coins I had paid $10 and $20 an ounce over to own. He was not cheating me. That is just what they are worth to him. because he can only sell them slow, one at a time, to the next collector who happens to want that exact one. I kept them because I love them, and that is fine, that is the hobby. But I never again mistook that case for my stack. The lesson cost me a good bit of money. It is costing you nothing right now, so take it. So that is the 5 to avoid. Now let me give you the reward. The 3 kinds of silver you actually should be stacking. My 3 pillars, the boring backbone of real silver wealth. The first pillar is junk silver, also called constitutional silver, the old 90% circulated dimes, quarters, and half dollars this country minted for everyday use before they took the silver out in 1965. You can buy it in $10 and $100 face value bags, often for very close to spot, and it is wonderfully liquid. You can sell it right back to just about any coin shop in the land for right around spot. And because it comes in small denominations, a dime here, a quarter there, it is the finest silver there is for trading in a real pinch when you might need to buy a small thing and cannot exactly shave off a corner of a big bar. The second pillar is recognized government silver coins, the American Silver Eagle minted by the United States Mint, the Canadian Silver Maple Leaf, and coins like them from other trusted national mints. Every dealer alive knows them on sight. They hold their value beautifully, and you can very often sell an eagleback for over spot because people want them. The third pillar is generic silver, plain rounds and bars from known, respected private mints. These are among the very cheapest ways to buy your ounces, usually right around spot. They store neat and tidy in tubes and cases, and they sell back easily to any shop. Boring, liquid, low premium, full weight. That is the whole secret, and it is not a very glamorous one, which is exactly why it works. Let me linger on those 3 a moment, because they are the heart of the whole thing. Junk silver is my favorite for the everyday stacker, and here is why. It is real United States money, the dimes and quarters and halves your grandparents actually carried and spent, 90% silver, made before they took the silver out in 1965. Everybody recognizes it, everybody trusts it, and it comes in tiny amounts, so if you ever needed to trade a little silver for a little something, a silver dime is about as handy as money gets. The eagles and the maples are your blue-chip coins, the ones a dealer anywhere in the country will take without a second glance, minted by national governments, guaranteed for weight and purity, and they often sell back for a touch over spot because folks genuinely want them. And the generic rounds and bars are your workhorse, the cheapest way there is to pile up honest ounces right around spot going in and easy to sell going out. Now notice what all 3 of those share: low premium, high recognition, easy resale. That is the trinity right there. Everything on the avoid list breaks at least one leg of it, and the good stuff nails all 3 at once. Build your stack on those 3 pillars, and you will sleep well at night because you will know that whatever comes, your silver is money, not a puzzle you have to solve in a hurry. So here is a simple test you can run on any piece of silver before you buy it, and it will keep you honest for the rest of your stacking life. Ask yourself one question: am I buying this for the metal or for the design? If the honest answer is the metal, then the premium had better be small, and it had better be something any dealer would take back at close to spot. If the honest answer is the design, the story, the fun of it, then fine, buy it, but call it what it is. That is hobby money, not stacking money, and it should be a small, happy corner of what you own, never the foundation. The moment you can tell those 2 answers apart in your own head, you have solved this whole problem forever. The pretty stuff stops being a trap and becomes just a treat you buy on purpose, with your eyes open. And let me ask you the hard question, the competence jeopardy question, because it cuts right to it. If you had to sell your entire silver stack this Friday, for cash, how much of it could you move at close to spot, and how much would you have to dump at a loss or sit on for months, hoping a collector shows up? Go picture your own stack right now and give yourself an honest count. If most of it is the good, liquid, low-premium metal, you did this right. If most of it is pretty coins you paid big premiums for, you have some rebalancing to do, and better to learn that today, on my dime, than on the worst day of your year. Now let us pull back and look at the whole sweep of it. Every worst type on this list fails for the very same 2 reasons: a premium too high going in and too little liquidity coming out. And every good type wins for the exact opposite too: a low premium and easy resale. That is really all stacking is. Once you strip away the pretty pictures and the salesmanship, you are not buying coins to admire, though admire them you may, and I hope you do. You are buying the plain ability to turn metal back into money on the day you need it, close to what it is truly worth, with no drama and no waiting. The hobby is the fun, the stack is the wealth. Keep those two things separate in your own mind. Put your grocery money in the pillars and your play money in the pretty stuff, and you will never wake up one day sitting on a mountain of beautiful silver you cannot afford to sell. That is what it means to hold real money and to actually be able to use it when life comes calling. So carry it out plain and simple. Avoid the five, and they all fail the very same way. High premium going in, hard to sell coming out. Buy the three, and they all win the same way. Low premium in, easy cash out. Numismatics for the fun of collecting. Jewelry for gifts. Poured silver and sterling, and the pretty themed coins for the pure love of them, in small doses, with your eyes wide open. And junk silver, government coins, and generic rounds for the actual wealth. Keep the hobby and the stack in two separate boxes in your mind, and you will never once be caught holding silver you cannot spend. And remember why any of this matters in the first place. You are not stacking to impress anybody with a shiny collection under glass. You are stacking so that when the world wobbles, and it always does eventually, you are holding something real that answers to nobody. Silver you cannot sell does not do that job. Silver you can sell in an afternoon, at a fair price, to any shop in town. That is independence you can hold in your own hand. So buy the boring metal. Be the person who is never stuck, the one whose silver is ready and willing the very day you need it, with no waiting, no fire sale, and no regret. Before you go, do me a favor and drop a comment below with just two things. First, tell me which type on this list is your own weakness, the one you keep buying even though you know better, because mine is the poured silver and I would truly love the company. And second, tell me the one kind of silver you trust most in your own stack, the piece you would sell first if you had to, so a new stacker reading this can learn what real folks actually rely on when it counts. I read every comment I can, and the stories you all share teach me things I never would have learned on my own. Thank you for spending this time with me, friend. Stack smart and look after yourselves.